You're watching the ACC on ESPN. It's perhaps the most anticipated game in the 90-year history of Kenan Stadium in Chapel Hill. #1 Clemson is the first consensus reigning national champ ever to visit. And the Tigers are riding a 19-game winning streak behind the strong arm of quarterback Trevor Lawrence. Hot and humid, 92 degrees as we are just moments away from kickoff in Chapel Hill. And welcome to the booth. Alongside Greg McElroy, Tom Luganville, I'm Dave Pasch. Greg, it was this week, 1 year ago, that Trevor Lawrence became the starting quarterback for Clemson, and the rest was history as he became the first true freshman quarterback to win a national championship in almost 40 years. He's 15-0 as a starter, and in those 15 wins, they have been completely dominant offensively. He does have, Craig, more interceptions this year than all of last year, but still, this guy is a phenomenal talent.
If you were to gauge my level of concern on a scale of 1 to 10, it's around a 1. Because I look at this guy's talent, and it truly is remarkable. Now, he hasn't been as efficient, he hasn't been as urgent, but he has done some really nice things. Negotiating defenders and manipulating defenders. That's an area of growth for him. He looks to the flat, pumps at it. Syracuse safety bites. He finds Amari Rodgers over the top for a touchdown. And he's done a great job with his legs, too. Not just to become a runner, but also keeping his eyes downfield, turning as a right-handed passer, running to his left. Difficult throw, makes it look easy. Very accurate for the touchdown against Texas A&M. There are some areas in which I'd like to see him improve. I want to see him make better decisions. I don't want to see him lock in on one wide receiver, but he's had a defense, Tom, that's been excellent in the first 4 weeks of the season.
Well, he has, and his counterpart, the young freshman Sam Howell, is going to have his hands full with a defensive secondary that Dabo Swinney says is the best he's had in his tenure at Clemson. Now, the issue with North Carolina on offense, very poor production in the second quarter. But in the fourth quarter is when North Carolina has stood out, and Sam Howell, the young freshman quarterback, has played his best football, the best of any of the 7 impactful true freshman quarterbacks in college football.
And Tom, you'll talk with Sam's head coach Mack Brown live when we return. North Carolina, #1 Clemson. Kickoff from Chapel Hill is next. To North Carolina as the Tar Heels get ready to take on #1 Clemson. Moments ago, Mack Brown spoke to his team in the locker room.
You've earned the right to be on this team. You've earned the right to be on ABC in front of millions of people. Now, you got to earn the respect of the nation playing the #1 team in the country. It's not the best team. It's the team that plays the best on that day. Let's go be that team.
And now Mack is live with Tom on the field.
Well, Coach, in the locker room, you told your team they have an opportunity. What do they need to do to seize that opportunity against the #1 team in the country today?
Tom, this is the best team in the country. You got to force them into mistakes. They have to have some turnovers, and we have to do some things in the kicking game to give us advantages to have any chance to win. They're really good.
Offensively, what do you need Sam Howell to do to put you in the fourth quarter where you've played your best football?
We got to play clean. We can't turn the ball over. We've got to be able to run the ball and make some plays on first down to stay ahead of the chains. You don't want this bunch pass rushing you on 3rd and long.
All right, great, Coach. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Tom.
Clemson won the toss and deferred. You'll have to wait to see Trevor Lawrence. It'll be Carolina on offense first. Beautiful day, but it is smoking hot down on the field. It's a packed house here at Kenan Stadium, and the Tar Heels will start on their 25-yard line. True freshman quarterback Sam Howell, Sun Valley High School, Monroe, North Carolina is where he's from. That's a suburb of Charlotte. He set the state high school record for career total offense. And he's the first true freshman quarterback to start a season opener in North Carolina history. He's been brilliant in the fourth quarter. It's early in games where he struggled. We'll see if that changes here today. They're going to hand it off here to Michael Carter on first down, and they push the pile way past the 30-yard line. That's encouraging if you're a Tar Heel fan, given the offensive line struggles this year.
And Sam Howell looks the part. He actually, in stature, reminds you a little bit of Baker Mayfield. A little shorter, a little stockier. He's got a really nice way about him, too. As a young player, you can't be a roller coaster emotionally. He's not. Very even-keeled, and has handled the starting reins extremely well in his first 4 games.
Carter again, and this time he's tracked down from behind by Logan Rudolph. We met with Sam yesterday, and you're right, Greg. I mean, listen, talking with him, every answer was like what you'd expect from somebody that's been trained in public relations for 15 years.
And he expected to be here. I mean, he made a dream early in his life as a kid that grew up in the state of North Carolina to be the starting quarterback at North Carolina. Originally committed to Florida State, flipped late, though, when Mac Brown got this job. He's been very good in these first 4 games. His toughest test lying right across the field from him, though, in the Clemson Tigers.
Trying to pick up this 3rd down and 1. He'll throw for the first time, and he gets the pass away to Williams into Clemson territory, keeps his balance before he's finally brought down at the 40-yard line.
You're going to see pressure right up the middle, and you're going to see the release, the free release hot route. This is a great job by a freshman quarterback. Understanding you don't have enough blockers, get it out to your running back in space for a big conversion.
Going to go to the air again here, take a shot, got a receiver, it's Brown! A touchdown for Carolina less than 2 minutes in! How many people expected that out the gate? Carolina coming off a loss to Appalachian State and Wake Forest before that. But they do have wins against South Carolina and Miami. Sam Howell, 10th touchdown pass of the year at 7-zip heels.
He loves the look. A little wave. Hey, take a peek at me. I'm going to shake him. That's exactly what he does. A little stutter-go concept. He gets the corner. A.J. Terrell to bite. Stop his feet just a little bit. And beat him over the top. So far, this North Carolina offense in the first 4 games has been really good. Driving the ball down the field. And finding De'Ami Brown, their best wide receiver in an isolated situation. It's a great start for North Carolina's offense.
I tell you, Greg, that offensive series began and ended because they won on their early downs. That's what North Carolina's got to do to enable themselves to take those shots and up the tempo by being ahead of the chains on 1st and 2nd down and giving them 3rd and short. What a wonderfully executed drive.
And how fitting, as Dabo's talking to his defense right now, how fitting based on what we told you about Howell's personality, right? Number 1's here. It doesn't matter. Just go out throwing the ball around the park. And Ngata going to run it out here. He's got some room. He's past the 30. And all the way to the 35-yard line. So for the first time this year, Trevor Lawrence comes on the field in the first quarter with his team down. He was born in Knoxville, but raised in Cartersville, Georgia. Big Peyton Manning fan, mentioned born in Knoxville. That's the Manning number in college, number 16, of course, number 18 when he was a pro. And we told you first time, Jamel Holloway, the only other to do it at Oklahoma back in '85, winning the national championship as a true freshman. Going to throw here, dumping it off to Etienne out in space. And grabbed at the ankles after a gain of 2. Actually, that's Rodgers, excuse me, on the catch. Brought down by Storm Duck, a true freshman corner.
The first thing that jumps out when you watch Trevor Lawrence is just his size. He's enormous. And the way the ball comes out of his hands, it's so pure. Completely unfazed by weather, wind, what have you. Throws a very tight, accurate football. Has been pretty solid throughout the course of his first 15 starts.
Etienne into the secondary. Grounded about a yard shy of the line to gain by Chaz Surratt. Well, Trevor Lawrence, again, he's 6'6", 220 pounds. So it's not just that he's got a great arm, but he's huge. He's also an outstanding athlete. He's facing a 3rd down and 2 here. And we talked about his athletic ability. You see him using his feet to pick up the first down to the North Carolina 44.
Just a little zone read by Clemson's offense. They're reading this man. As soon as he crashes with ETN on the inside zone to the right, Trevor pulls it, and he's one-on-one with the safety. Very athletic in the open field. Obviously, the first thing that you love is his arm, but those legs can get you out of some jams, especially in a 3rd-and-1 conversion.
He's already got 3 rushing touchdowns, had 1 all of last year. Lawrence back to throw, looking deep. Receiver comes free, and a beautiful catch made by Ross. First down to the 30, pickup of 14.
Good job by this offensive line, giving Trevor Lawrence time. You see Justin Ross working across the field, just a little over route. Taking his time, though, against that zone coverage. Doesn't want to run to get covered. Trevor Lawrence finds him a little later than he'd like. A nice pickup on the first down play.
Lawrence gets it to Ross out in the flat, and he's tripped up after a gain of a couple. Miles Dorn, the leading tackler for North Carolina, made the stop.
No, Greg, Justin Ross is such a big physical presence, but he was an outside guy predominantly last year in the slot right there. In North Carolina, making that tackle in space is critical for their success on defense today.
Clemson, of course, one of the best teams in the country with run after catch with the athletes they have at wide receiver.
And Lawrence going to run it here, and he's got Green. Did not get the first down, stepped out a couple of yards shy, so it'll be 3rd down and 2 again. Picked up the first down earlier with his feet. We'll see what he does here.
Looks with that tight end attached. This has been an inside zone for Clemson through the first 4 games.
Instead, it's a pass out to Rogers, and he's wrapped up for a loss. Dominique Ross made the hit. It's 4th down.
An RPO. Inside zone to the right. Instead, he opts to give Rogers a chance in space to make a guy miss. And North Carolina was up to the task. Great job rallying to the football and bringing down the explosive Rogers on the critical 3rd down.
They bring on the field goal team after the 1-yard loss. A 40-yard try for B.T. Potter. And he missed it, not even close. So an empty possession for Clemson. Way wide left by B.T. Potter, and it remains 7-0 UNC. Welcome back, 7-0 North Carolina as we continue Dr. Pepper's championship drive game of the week. Dave Pasch, Greg McElroy, and Tom Luganville. A missed 40-yard field goal by Clemson gives true freshman quarterback Sam Howell another opportunity, and he's going to keep it here, faking the handoff and picking up about 4 yards on first down against this Clemson defense, which the most yardage it had given up in an entire quarter was 74 yards in the first quarter against A&M. North Carolina went 75 yards, 4 plays, less than 2 minutes on the opening possession here today. Play action pass, and Howell has to throw it away with Xavier Thomas right in his grill.
And that's a fine play from Sam Howell. Lived to play 3rd down. You don't want to take a sack, obviously, to make a 3rd down almost impossible against a defense like this. 3rd down for Clemson's defense. It's all about pressure. Brent Venables, their defensive coordinator, has done such a great job finding issues in protection and getting free runners on the quarterback. One of their best pressures is a corner blitz against the short side of the field. Keep your eyes on the corner at the top of the screen.
And it was juggled and caught, but nowhere to go for Carter as he's cut down by James Skalski in the backfield for a loss of a couple. So a 3-and-out forced by Clemson's defense there.
A good response by Clemson's defense. Better in the open field. Good job on second down, sniffing out boot action. And a good job rallying to the football on third down. It's a good response after the big opening drive by the Tar Heels.
True freshman punter Ben Kiernan, who grew up in Ireland playing rugby and soccer. Moved to Raleigh. He'll boot it deep to Amari Rogers. A lot of hang time. There's some contact that hit a Clemson player. And the ball scooted out of bounds, so it's going to be Clemson ball. Trevor Lawrence back on the field when you come back to Chapel Hill.
College football on ABC is brought to you by Coca-Cola. Share a Coke with the Tigers and Tar Heels with team bottles in stores now.
One of the most engaging guys in college football. His players absolutely love him.
Keeping the Macarena relevant right there. Solid. Big.
College football Hall of Famer Mac Brown did such a great job here the first time around. Now he's back after spending a handful of years with us. One of 5 active head coaches to win a national title. Dabo Swinney, another one. So you get 2 of the 5 in this game. Second possession for Clemson. They're going to run ETN, and he gets nothing. Stood up by Jason Strobridge, Carolina's best player on defense.
And Trevor Lawrence maybe hasn't had his best stuff at any point this season, but Travis Etienne has been amazing. And he really has. I mean, so explosive, so versatile, so dangerous with the football in open space. It's kind of forgotten about just because of all the offseason hype surrounding Trevor Lawrence, but I think he reminded you quickly with his performance against Georgia Tech in the opener.
Really grown as a receiver. You saw him flexed out here. Lawrence's pass off target, trying to hit Ross, so it's 3rd down and 8.
That's just poor footwork right there. Now the crowd's getting cranked up. Trevor Lawrence has got to get his feet underneath him. Let it rip.
Lawrence gets rid of it, and it's nearly intercepted. Beautiful break on the football by Chaz Surratt. 4th down, 3-and-out by the Tigers.
Chaz Surratt, former quarterback. Great feel. Hearing quarters coverage, being responsible for the tight end out in the flat. He plays it slow, almost baits Trevor Lawrence into throwing his 6th interception of the season. A great job by the converted quarterback Surratt.
Will Spires will punt it deep to Daz Newsome, who has a punt return for a touchdown. His career happened a year ago. Spires just got it away. Wobbly kick, and the fair catch made around the 23. Let's check in with Cassidy Hubbard in the studio. Probably have to say Virginia's the 2nd best team in the ACC right now, right?
No doubt. Bryce Perkins he's a difference maker, man, and they're really good on the defensive side of the football. Notre Dame's performance last week earned them respect from everybody, but clearly a little flat early there in South Bend.
Here's Javonte Williams. Wrestled down, but after a gain of 3 or 4, Jordan Williams on the stop. You think of all the great D linemen that Clemson lost to the NFL draft, but they have reloaded. Phil Longo, offensive coordinator, has to be pleased so far with the way his offensive line has played.
He's kind of from that air raid tree, if you will. previously of Ole Miss. And what he asked the receivers to do is be instinctive, find space, find grass, don't run to get covered. And he said that this North Carolina group, because of how cerebral they are, as a whole, has been maybe the best he's coached in regards to being able to understand the offense quickly.
Play action pass here. Howell setting up. And the pass is low, but it's a catch. Bo Corrales able to hang on to it. Now
rolling on the field, it's an incomplete pass. Third down.
They were spotting the ball. Another official came racing in and said no. It skipped to him.
It looked like it did. Really close, good effort. Just a low throw from Sam Howell. Slips a little coming out of his break. Good job gathering himself.
Yeah, it looked like it hit the turf there.
It does. I'm sure they'll look at it. Every play in college football is, of course, reviewed.
They're going to stop it. They have a collaborative effort here in the ACC with Game Day
Rolling on the
Operations Center
field of
involved.
an incomplete pass is under further review.
6:27 to go in the first. Seven 0 North Carolina leads top-ranked Clemson as we continue Dr. Pepper's Championship Drive Game of the Week. Greg McElroy, Tom Luganville, I'm Dave Pasch here in Chapel Hill. Tar Heels have been pretty good on defense so far. The last play on offense was ruled incomplete on the field, and replay confirmed it. It was a trap by Corrales, so it is 3rd down and 6 on the Tar Heel 28-yard line. Now backing up, it's a screen to Williams. Nice cut, and he gets the first down across the 35.
It's a great job by Sam Howell buying time. The screen took a while. And look at him just retreat. Sets up nice and easy, then retreat. Backpedal, 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 no problem. Be very patient. And an excellent job by Williams. Sticking his foot in the ground as he approached the sideline and getting vertical. Excellent conversion on 3rd and 6.
Yeah, good play call too, Greg. Oskowski, 47, the linebacker, just sees it just a tad bit too late. Could have had an opportunity to run it down on defense.
Back to throw again. Howell with time. And boy, De'Ami Brown is doing a number today on A.J. Terrell. He beat him deep for the touchdown. Although he might have been injured on that last catch after a 12-yard gain. He's going to the sideline.
When North Carolina gets into these heavy sets with 12 personnel and 2 tight ends, that's when they're likely going to throw the ball down the field. They come off of it. They find De'Ami Brown on the outlet. You see him get slammed down to the ground.
That's happened all year for North Carolina. Their best players keep getting hurt.
And certainly hope De'Ami Brown's going to be okay. He got up okay, just a little sluggish getting to the sideline, but he's an important piece of this offense, and the receiving group's excellent, but a lot better with him out there.
Williams gets the carry. They're still getting good yardage on 1st down. 3 or 4 again there for Javonte Williams.
No, Greg, this offense for North Carolina, they've repeatedly been able to get 4 yards plus on 1st down, but it's been 2nd down that's been the Achilles heel because it's put them in 3rd and long. Able to convert last time on that screen. They got to start getting production on 2nd down.
And they've been throwing it on 2nd down, right? And they haven't really had a lot of success doing it. They have a big offensive line, really big offensive line. You need to trust them on 2nd down. See if they can match the push that they got on 1st and 10 throughout the first 10 minutes of this game.
See all the guys there in the box for Clemson, and they will throw it. Howell dumps it out in the flat. And nice job by Daz Newsome to get close to the line to gain before Isaiah Simmons makes the tackle. So it's 3rd down and short. About 2 to go. 8th year as the defensive coordinator, Brent Venables.
Look at him making them checks, man. One after another. Check, 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 check.
Sam Howell having to come to the sideline there a second ago here on 3rd and short. Get the play call. And Jace Ruder, their backup quarterback, was available. This might be a spot for a quarterback run. He still might go with that to the right side, kind of heavy set offensively.
It's going to be Williams, and he's able to power his way to the line to gain. Antonio Williams, senior, came in with just 9 carries this season. Looks like he got enough to move the chains.
Now they're huge up front, especially number 73, who they run right behind. It was a good job coming off the edge by A.J. Terrell, almost making the play in the backfield. But number 73, Marcus McKeithen, the right guard for North Carolina, 6'7", 332. And I think he's a little heavier than that. I really do.
That's when he skips breakfast.
Yeah, exactly. He is a big boy, really trying to run it behind him in short yardage situations.
Play action pass for Howell, and it's almost intercepted. Isaiah Simmons deflected it. Chad Smith almost got it on the redirection.
You better be aware of number 11 is. He is long, athletic, and can be a complete game wrecker for offenses. Really tight window that Sam Howell was trying to find right there, and you see the length of Isaiah Simmons at 6'4", reaching out that arm and knocking down the pass. Dangerous throw right there by the freshman.
Look at the length of his arms.
And he's so long. He just makes windows so much smaller just by extending his reach.
Came to Clemson as a safety. Now he's at 6'4", 230 pounds. They fake the reverse. Howell being chased, and he dumps it off here to Carter. Was cut down by Simmons for a loss at the 46. A setback of 4 yards. It'll bring up 3rd down and 14. Carolina coming into today among the worst in the country, not just in third down conversions, but most offensive categories, but they've been outstanding so far. They're hoping here just to maybe get 7 or 8 and then see if that's enough for their field goal kicker, or maybe they go for it. It's 4th and 3 or 4. We'll see.
And this is such a tough spot against a defense like this. So aggressive. Brent Venables defensively. So many guys that can apply pressure to the quarterback. North Carolina, their first 4 games of the year, have been relatively conservative. Wouldn't be shocked to see them play it safe here as well.
With time, a deep ball into traffic, and it's incomplete as 2 Tigers collide. Muse and Simmons. The pass intended for Carl Tucker. 4th down, and Simmons is still shaken up.
Man, really dangerous throw here as you see Isaiah Simmons on the deck for the Clemson Tigers.
And again, it was that collision with Tanner Muse. Friendly fire. Takes Simmons to the ground. The field for special teams. But man, he took a shot here from his teammate Tanner Muse on that dangerous pass by Sam Howell, trying to hit Carl Tucker down the seam. But again, looks to be all right. And so Carolina will punt it, try to pin Clemson deep. Amari Rogers standing at his 10-yard line. Ben Kiernan will boot it for the Tar Heels. That's well done. It'll be Clemson ball at its 11-yard line. 35-yard punt. Don't forget, after our game, Nebraska welcomes number 5 Ohio State into Lincoln. 7:30 Eastern right here on ABC. Boy, Ohio State, I know they're ranked 5th, but they're playing as well as anybody in the country right now.
They are, and they have solved the issues that plagued them on the defensive side of the football. Last year, they were so anemic on that side of the ball. Dwayne Haskins and company last year were excellent on the offensive side, but that defense now really tenacious in the front, and that's been the big difference in the first few weeks of the season.
Penalty marker down.
Legal substitution. Offense. 5-yard penalty, 1st down.
Mental error there. Lynn J. Dixon was on the field, but wasn't supposed to be. At least that's what we think, because Travis Etienne was kind of looking at him like, what are you doing? And then Dixon turned around and ran to the sideline. A mental error there.
Yeah, you could see him just running right off the field as Etienne came in and tapped him out. Tough spot now, backed up at their own 6-yard line.
Maybe run off the field a little faster, too. He made it kind of easy for the officials when you're sauntering to the sideline. Here's Etienne, stood up at the point of attack. Jeremiah Gimmel. No gain. You know, Clemson, even though it hasn't looked great offensively, aesthetically, the numbers are still phenomenal. Hard to do much from here, though. 2nd and 15. You do have Trevor Lawrence, but you're backed up on your 6-yard line. And the Tar Heels have been pretty salty up front so far defensively. Lawrence throwing from his own end zone. He rips that one in there complete. T. Higgins right at the first down marker. He got it at the 22.
Beautiful throw by Trevor Lawrence. These are the throws that in the playoff run he made look so routine. That's tight coverage, a little corner out. He puts it on the money for the conversion. Maybe that'll get his day going a little bit.
Lynn J. Dixon is in the game right now. He'll get the carry. And Dixon stacked up at the 26-yard line after a 4-yard run for the sophomore from Butler, Georgia.
I really like this kid, Greg, and I was talking to Dabo Swinney during pregame warm-up, and not to knock any of the previous reserves they've had behind Travis Etienne, but this guy, when he enters the game, there's very little drop-off in the run game.
Yeah, he's really good. I've been so impressed watching him grow and develop over these last couple seasons.
And they'll feed Dixon again, and he is bottled up. Gain of maybe one. Strobridge, who is playing injured. He's not 100%, but he is so good up front for North Carolina. Big-time difference maker. It's 3rd and 4 now for Clemson. As the first quarter comes to an end. 7-0. North Carolina after 1. We'll be back after this message and a word from our ABC stations. This season, for every field goal, an extra point made by participating universities. Allstate will make a contribution to the university's General Scholarship Fund. Thank you, Allstate. Hot and humid day here in Chapel Hill, but a packed house. The number 1 team in the country visiting Kenan Stadium for the first time since Florida State in the late 90s. Lawrence on 3rd down, a back shoulder fade that's on target to Higgins. First down, Tigers out to the 43-yard line. Pick up a 15.
Trevor Lawrence starting to heat up a little bit on these downfield throws. This time he sees that he has an opportunity for the back shoulder. Obviously, North Carolina going to try to make sure that they don't get beat over the top. So that back shoulder throw is going to be accessible for Trevor Lawrence throughout this one, just knowing the length of his wide receivers.
Here's Dixon. Turns it upfield and gets clocked around the 47-yard line, but that's an excellent run on first down. Gain of 9 on the play.
And Greg, Dave, keep an eye on where number 29 is, Storm Duck. The true freshman corner, big, tall, long kid, very athletic. Got ourselves an injury here on the field, Dave. Get it back to you.
Yeah, Tom, that's Chaz Surratt. And again, we talked about Carolina losing a lot of its best players to injury. Surratt's been very important to them this year. It's Georgia last week. A lot of people didn't see that one coming. Meanwhile, Clemson down 7-0, the number 1 team in the country. They pick up the first down on 2nd and short with Travis Etienne. Tigers got it going on this drive with the Trevor Lawrence making a couple of nice throws. Remember, they started this drive on their 6-yard line.
Yeah, and Greg, before we had the injury, look at the matchup to the bottom of your screen with Storm Duck number 29 versus T. Higgins. That's the one. Now you're seeing them back off a little bit. I think that's smart. Press coverage is tough to handle for North Carolina right now.
Lawrence is looking that way, and wide open is Ross down to the 9-yard line. 31-yard pass play.
And that off coverage into the boundary really makes it tough. They run 2 receivers vertical in a little switch concept to get Storm Duck in a really tough spot. Good throw and catch.
Lawrence pump fakes and runs it here and going nowhere fast. Dragged down by Surratt, who's back out there. Loss of about 4 on the play. What happened there?
He was thinking that they were going to run a conversion fade to the top. And his receiver just stood there in a hitch concept. So a little bit miscommunication between Trevor Lawrence and T. Higgins, the intended receiver. Tenth
play of the drive. And A ton of room. Etienne walks in for a touchdown. Just gashed him on that play for 13 yards. And now point after away from tying it up. Fifth touchdown for Etienne this season. Reigning ACC Player of the Year. B.T. Potter puts it through. We're all even at 7 apiece.
Clemson backed up at their own 6-yard line. Just need a little bit more room to get that offense in gear. Travis Etienne scores. Knotted at 7s here in Chapel Hill.
On ABC is brought to you by Pacific Life. 150 years strong. Protection and retirement solutions for your future. And General Mills. Bring more to your game day with General Mills tailgate recipes. See what you can create at wearetailgatenation.com.
Well, the only programs to win 3 titles in 4 years, Nebraska 94, 95, 97, and then recently Alabama. Clemson trying to do it as well. They won it in 16 with Deshaun Watson, who was the runner-up to Lamar Jackson for the Heisman Trophy. And then last year, of course, with the true freshman quarterback Trevor Lawrence. It was this week 1 year ago that he got the start against Syracuse, becoming their #1 QB.
Another freshman, Sam Howell, trying to look a little bit like Trevor Lawrence. Done a good job so far under pressure. Finds his hot route because of the blitz. Blitz coming front side to the right side. He knows he's picked up. He knows he's got plenty of blockers. He also understands he has one-on-one. Little stutter go concept. He throws a strike down the field to De'Ami Brown. He's come back to earth a little bit in the last 13 minutes of the first quarter, but against the blitz so far, he's had an answer. And that's a good thing because Clemson relies very heavily on blitzes throughout the course of their defensive plan.
De'Ami Brown is back out there, got injured earlier, but he's been wearing out A.J. Terrell so far. Howell in trouble and sacked. Jordan Williams, sophomore from Virginia Beach, gets his first takedown of the year, a loss of 7.
Now you're just going to see him working right across. He's able to get home as he crosses face. The right tackle, Marcus McKeithen, just can't stay with him. Too quick. A nice job applying the pressure there by the Clemson defensive line.
And that's the last thing you needed if you're North Carolina after Clemson got its first score, is to go backwards on the next play. And they're going to run it here with Carter. He fights to get across the 25-yard line. So got a good chunk of it back. Going to bring up 3rd and long here.
You know, this is one area, Greg, where I think Phil Longo, the offensive coordinator, has some confidence in his quarterback because he hasn't spoon-fed him. He's got the full complement of the offense on 3rd down, which gives him more options in their play call.
3rd and 9. Howell, originally committed to Florida State. He was recruited by Clemson, but from the Charlotte area. True freshman making the start. He's got one-on-one coverage here, and the ball is knocked away, incomplete, no flag. A.J. Terrell held his own that time against De'Ami Brown. It's 4th down.
And tight coverage here by A.J. Terrell, who gave up the big touchdown early. A lot of contact.
Both guys, though, right?
Yeah, a lot of contact on both sides. I think the throw was a little bit better. It was more upfield, and it wasn't so far beneath. And maybe they would have had a better chance at a flag, but...
You're right, Greg. That throw is low. That's why they didn't get it.
Exactly. If it's high and he really interferes, that's when they likely would have gotten the call.
Kendrick is the deep man here. And he lets this one bounce. It will roll to a stop around the 28. 47-yard punt, no return. Monday Night Football will be in Pittsburgh. Ben Roethlisberger obviously out for the season, so Mason Rudolph gets his 2nd straight start. The Steelers trying to avoid an 0-4 start. It's the 100th meeting between these two division rivals. And Mason's younger brother, Logan, is on the Clemson roster. Defensive end. sophomore from Rock Hill, South Carolina.
Mason Rudolph, Oklahoma State quarterback. Let's see if he can throw it downfield to James Washington, who was his teammate, also a Steeler.
Here's Etienne, beautiful stutter step in the hole, and picks up almost the entire 10 yards before he's brought down by Miles Dorn. But the talent of Etienne on display here.
He's just so powerful. I mean, we know he's a home run hitter. And he runs through initial contact, and he doesn't even slow down.
Right.
He's so slippery and has such sudden movements and running behind his pads. It's really been a joy to watch this year.
Gets it again here, and they're really starting to gash him now. But the ball is coughed up. And it's North Carolina ball. Strobridge comes out of there with it for the Tar Heels. Just as they were starting to rip them, the Tar Heels come up with a takeaway, and out comes the belt.
Huge play for Carolina's defense. You're going to see number 21, Chaz Surratt, on the left side. And on the other side, you see Gimmel both reaching for the football. It gets dislodged. And there's Strobridge, who's been a little beat up for North Carolina these last couple weeks, pouncing on it. A huge play right when you thought Clemson's offense was starting to really get in rhythm.
Carter gets the carry, got a ton of green in front of him. Inside the 20. Finally run out of bounds by Tanner Muse. A 30-yard scamper.
And just 5 in the box defensively for Clemson, which means run, run, run. And Michael Carter does it beautifully. It's an inside run, breaking it to the outside. You see that speed. And North Carolina's skill at both wide receiver and at running back really good. Now along the trenches, they have a tough time matching up week in, week out against the top-tier teams. You see that three-headed monster at running back with Williams and Antonio Williams, and then Michael Carter there with a big run.
First down at the 11-yard line. Howell's going to throw it out to Corrales. Excellent open field play that time by Terrell. They're going at him. And it's a gain of about 4 or 5 there for Bo Corrales.
I mean, isn't this the perfect script for North Carolina, guys? You got to play field position. You need Clemson to help you a little bit. Then you need to make a couple of explosive plays. And this is the quarter that North Carolina has struggled in all year long. This has been their flop. So to get over the hump here, Greg and Dave, would be huge to punch this in for their confidence.
They've only scored 13 points all year in the second quarter.
You got to trust your quarterback, true freshman Sam Howell. You got to trust him to make great decisions with the football and trust that big offensive line to get some push.
Movement and a penalty marker down.
False start. Offense. 5-yard penalty. Second down.
It's almost as if they're late with the snap.
Yeah.
You see 2 guys move. You see the clap. A slight delay by the center, Brian Anderson, who's the 3rd-string center because of the injuries they've suffered at the position. A little late with the snap there. As a result, North Carolina gets backed up.
Yeah, second down and long. Dabo's trying to call timeout here. Did they get it or not? Howell is taken down here. They may have called the timeout. Dabo was sprinting down the far sideline while Skalski was making the play on Howell in the backfield. And it is a timeout.
Timeout. Clemson. First charge with his hand.
Dr. Pepper's Championship Drive Game of the Week.
See Dabo Swinney not liking the alignment, sprinting down the field, getting that timeout. Had a pressure called and didn't like some of the matchups they had in the back end.
False start penalty by North Carolina. Makes it second down and 11 from the 12. And it's Carter, and he is picked up in the air by Skalski. So brought down at the 10. It's 3rd and long now for UNC.
Really tough spot for North Carolina. With the way Clemson defends this part of the field, they like to drop 8 guys in some cases, and that just doesn't allow a lot of room in the passing game.
Situational awareness here for Sam Howell, so pivotal to make sure this team comes away with points.
And you see those 3 defensive linemen.
Howell to throw. And in trouble. Gets rid of the pass. It's caught at the 5. And walking in is Corrales for the go-ahead touchdown. What a job by Howell. Keep in mind, Clemson has won 19 consecutive games, 13 in a row in the regular season against ACC teams. The last regular season loss nearly 2 years ago at Syracuse, going into a bye week. After this game, they have a bye next Saturday, the Tigers.
Well, it all got started because of the turnover. The fumble by Travis Etienne, made possible by Chaz Surratt and Jeremiah Gimmel, pounced on by Jason Strobridge. And look at Sam Howell. His eyes are to the right. The read is to the right. Everything's to the right. Oh, look what I found. An uncovered Corrales because of the bust defensively of the Clemson Tigers. You would run that play 100 times. 100 times. And you would never throw it to that guy.
Really?
You really wouldn't. Because it's a full mesh. He is exclusively to just create separation for the guy that's coming underneath him. But he uncovers. Sam Howell finds him.
How about Sam with his eyes, Greg?
It's a great job.
Yeah.
I mean, he was under duress, moved to his right, didn't like it, and all of a sudden, that peripheral vision
Kept his eyes back up.
the left side of the field. Corrales opened up. He was somehow able to get into the awaiting arms to give them a 7-point lead.
So he's got 2 touchdown passes so far. Got out the deep man for Clemson. Comes out to the 25. Time for today's Aflac trivia question. Can you name the last unranked team to beat the AP number 1? Got a long way to go in this one, but Tar Heels have played well. Clemson with a turnover that leads to a touchdown. You guys have a guess here?
Ooh, this is maybe the hardest Aflac of all time.
I mean, I want to say Syracuse 2 years ago, but I don't think Clemson was 1.
They
at
were
that
2.
Point. They were 2.
They
yeah.
were 2.
Yep. Oh my goodness.
It happened in 2008. There's your hint. Back to the ground game. Etienne getting it right in his hands after the fumble. Keeps the feet moving and got positive yardage, but he was swarmed by Carolina's defense. All right, let's answer this and get you guys off the hook here. The last unranked team to beat an AP number 1 was actually Oregon State back in 2008 when USC was number 1.
Wow. You know, our dear friend Mark Sanchez back in the ABC studio is thrilled to hear about that one. I remember that game vividly, actually.
Lawrence back to throw on 2nd down, climbs the pocket, and throws high. Incomplete, intended for Rodgers. 2 Tar Heels over there in coverage. It is 3rd down and 8.
Little surprise Clemson didn't run it there, Greg.
They're running it with pretty decent efficiency.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, I've been in this stadium 3 times. The 3rd time. This is the best atmosphere I've seen in my 3 trips. It's not even close.
It's the most full it's been, that's for sure.
It is really loud and difficult for the opposing offense to communicate in a setting like this.
Lawrence gonna get hit by Surratt, and down he goes.
You're going to see Surratt come right off the edge and then pressure on the other side with internal pressure as well. And as a result, the left tackle, Jackson Carman, chooses to stay inside, which is the correct decision. But a great design by the defensive coordinator, Jay Bateman, to put stress on that tackle and get the sack.
There's some movement by Clemson. That's going to back them up even more. It's only the 4th sack allowed by the Tigers this year, and 2 of those came against A&M.
Ball start. Offense, number 10. 5-yard penalty. 4th down.
But you guys were talking about the atmosphere, and I know, Greg, that you visited here and it came down to Carolina and Alabama. But with Mack Brown, and I know you lose to App State and you lose to Wake Forest, but just watching that game, we were together after our game that opening week, watching South Carolina, there was just something different about the way the Tar Heels played. And just being here this week around Mack Brown, based on how the program was under the previous regime, there was something different. Doesn't mean they're going to win today, but the program clearly is headed in the right direction. Fair catch made at the 40-yard line. Let's go to Cassidy in the studio. So a surprising score there, this surprising, and also the fact they pivot up 14 points. They've held 3 consecutive opponents to 10 points or less for the entire game, and they've already surrendered 14 this afternoon. And North Carolina looking for more. Got decent starting field position, but there's some movement, and penalty markers are down.
Ball start. Offense, number 73. 5-yard penalty. 1st down.
It's big Marcus McKeithen, the right guard. So looking at the Clemson defense leading into today, and they played Charlotte last week. The starters didn't play a whole lot. They actually played in total 111 guys. Weren't really tested against Syracuse. And Kellen Mond was shut down for the most part.
And you take that first game with a grain of salt because no one knew what Georgia Tech was going to do offensively.
Right, with a new coaching staff and everything. Javonte Williams has stood up at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. Tyler Davis and Muse in there for Clemson.
But Tyler Davis, that young nose tackle, the true freshman, has started since he arrived on campus. He is a load. Number 13 lined up right over your center in between the guard right now.
Here's a backwards pass, and instead Brown takes off and gets out of bounds, getting positive yardage. But yeah, that looked like they were trying to set it up. He actually does have a completion, Brown, already this season. That's 3rd down and long. 5:40 on the clock in the second quarter.
And a smart play there by De'Ami Brown. They saw it, they covered it. Clemson extremely sound, well coached. Not often are they going to fall for trick plays. Just get what you can get and live to play 3rd down.
Clemson, the first ever consensus reigning national champ to play here at Kenan Stadium. And they trail right now. 3rd down and long. And it's incomplete. Unable to come up with it was Daz Newsome. Didn't look like a great throw, guys. 4th down.
Just a little bit low for Sam Howell. And that's kind of been his miss these first few weeks of the season. When he misses, it's usually low, which is not the worst thing in the world, because if it's low, it's going to be incomplete, or your guy's going to go down and scoop it. If you miss it high, it could get tipped up and intercepted. So it's not the worst thing in the world going up against an opportunistic defense. Got to bring those sights up a touch, or if you complete those big plays.
If you throw it on target, it's a 1st down.
That's a good point. Yeah, in a perfect world, you want to throw it on target. Yes.
Trying to punt it away from Rodgers here. And it takes a Tar Heel hop. And comes to a standstill around the 22-yard line, a 44-yard boot. Kick off your Week 4 with Sunday NFL Countdown. Randy Moss ranks the best catches from today's college football action in You Got Mossed. Plus some help from Napoleon Dynamite's Uncle Rico. How Minshew Mania has followed Gardner Minshew from Washington State all the way to Jacksonville. Sunday NFL Countdown, 10 a.m. Eastern on ESPN. We saw Minshew 3 times last year. I know you guys liked him, but did you see this coming?
I didn't. He's obviously thrust into a situation, but man, he has been so accurate with the football, and he delivered on a Thursday night performance a couple weeks ago. That was really impressive.
They go empty here and throw it out in the flat. Overton on the catch, and he is down. Slammed to the ground by Jeremiah Gimmel. Playing with his hair on fire. No gain.
Tell you what, Jeremiah Gimmel's been all over the place. Him and Chaz Surratt. They've been the spark that this defense needed. I mean, anticipating throws, anticipating plays, being opportunistic on third down, stripping the football from ETN. They've been the difference on the defensive side for the Tar Heels.
Trying to find some running room off the left side. ETN up to the 28-yard line, so good yardage on second down. Put them in third and manageable as we near the 4-minute mark here and a half.
This has been the money down for North Carolina on defense to see if they bring pressure again here like they did last time on Trevor Lawrence.
North Carolina's got issues in substitution. They got to call timeout, yeah.
That'll leave the Tar Heels with 2.
North Carolina's defense has been up to the task. In coverage here, Chaz Surratt closing in, knocking it down. And then in the pressure, too, overloading the left side as Surratt comes uncovered. So far, they've been excellent against a high-powered offensive attack on third down, critical down and distance, knowing their lack of depth that they have at all 3 levels.
It's third down and 5. Here comes a delayed blitz, and Lawrence takes off. Ton of running room. Takes a seat around the 44-yard line. First down, Clemson after a 17-yard run by the quarterback.
Yeah, you're going to see all this movement, and as a result, it just vacates. I mean, it's like the parting of the Red Sea. I mean, so much room, and sure enough, Trevor Lawrence out the gate. It's good recognition in the disappearance in the front, getting vertical with his legs.
High snap. Lawrence able to corral it and throw it deep on target. Higgins made the catch inside the 30-yard line with Trey Morrison draped all over him. 26 yards through the air for Lawrence.
Man, this is such a hard throw. This is a 30-yard throw on a back shoulder dime. I mean, absolutely perfect. In this formation earlier, they took a shot at Storm Duck on the left side.
They pump. Lawrence steps up and gets hit. A sack at the 29-yard line. Strobridge and Tamon Fox team up on the tackle. We're at the 3-minute mark. Fox is slow to get up. Clemson trying to tie it before intermission. 2 timeouts remaining for both teams. Clemson #1 for the 5th straight week, tying a school record. They trail up 14-7 late in the first half. Trevor Lawrence going to hand it off here on the rollout, and ETN might have been a face mask there. No flag. Not much on the ground for ETN, so it's going to be third down and long here for the Tigers. Jay Bateman, the defensive coordinator. His first year with the Heels. See what he dials up here on third down and 9 against the outstanding sophomore quarterback. Delayed blitz. Lawrence gets out of there for now. Rolling left, and he throws it complete. What a play by Lawrence to Higgins. Down to the 10 for a first down. My goodness.
3 up the middle pressure. Really difficult on a quarterback. And you see Miles Dorn just over pursue Trevor Lawrence like he's been doing all year long, moving to his left and throwing a dart. So good on the run, keeping his eyes downfield.
He's got the hot hand, but it's a quarterback sneak here. He spins away from one defender. Coach has talked all week about how athletic Trevor Lawrence is. We know about him as a thrower, but we've seen him use his feet a lot in this game. It's 2nd and goal, 90 seconds to go in the half.
The longer these drives go, the more Clemson has a tendency to lean on running the football. And in this formation with the tight end attached in line, it's been a heavy run tell for him in the past.
It's ETN busting a tackle, but then dropped at the 3 by Don Chapman, a true freshman safety. So it is third down and goal.
I think Clemson's got to keep it on the ground here, Greg, in some way, shape, or form, because eventually it's going to wear out North Carolina's front. They're just so thin in their front seven.
Yeah, and they bring in a second tight end, 12 personnel for the Clemson Tigers, which is what they try to do. They want to run the football in this formation, but if they get a one-on-one, they're more than happy to throw a back shoulder fade.
They're having some issues figuring out what the call is. You saw Trevor with his hand up, and so Dabo Swinney calls a timeout with 38 seconds to go. That will leave Clemson with one timeout on 3rd and goal. This season, Taco Bell celebrating student sections and passionate fans by awarding the Live Más Student Section of the Year. The Tar Heel Student Section already on the national watch list. Go to ESPN.com/Taco Bell to see how your school can compete, or get the committee's attention by using hashtag Live Más Student Section Contest. And with basketball season right around the corner, and they had their first practice last night here, but they're celebrating football today. And with wins against South Carolina and Miami, you can feel just being on campus this week that fans have already bought in. I know they lost the last two, but the fans are already in what Mac Brown is selling.
Hard not to love what Mac's trying to build and the energy he's trying to provide this fan base that has been through a lot of ups and downs in the last couple years.
3rd and goal from inside the 5 for Clemson. Look at a tie before halftime. And a design quarterback run for Lawrence. He is in for the touchdown. That's 4 rushing touchdowns already for Lawrence this year. Family from Cartersville, Georgia in attendance, and they're a point after away from tying this up.
Great job by Clemson's offense, getting some points before the half. They get the ball at halftime as well. Huge drive.
13 passes by Lawrence, 8 rushes by the quarterback. I'll leave it at 14.
That's a really good design. You're just going to see movement and counter action. And Trevor Lawrence at 6'6", 220 plus pounds, just too heavy to stop with a full head of steam. Very similar to the play they scored on earlier, except this time the quarterback is the ball carrier off the counter action. And Trevor Lawrence runs behind his pads and has enough surge. It's a great answer by Clemson to try to create some momentum here as we near the end of the second quarter.
Efficient passing for Lawrence, and made some smart plays when under duress to get outside the pocket and run. And we've seen there a couple of design runs for the QB on that possession when they got in goal-to-goal situation.
I think statistically it might not always tell the story, but this has been probably the best half of football I've seen from him as far as the decisions he's making and the throws he's executing so far this season.
Michael Carter is deep. He won't touch it. It'll come out to the 25. We'll see how Carolina handles the final 33 seconds with 2 timeouts remaining. State Farm halftime report is coming your way with Kevin Nagandi, Jonathan Vilma, the aforementioned Mark Sanchez, your former teammate with the Jets. They're going to talk about what's going on with Bama. And can Notre Dame make a statement against Virginia? It's a good one right now. Jalen Hurts continues to light it up for Lincoln Riley and OU.
That's a great halftime because I'm fascinated with what Virginia's doing. Obviously, Notre Dame earned so much respect last week. Ole Miss, new coordinators on both offense and defense, giving Alabama some fits after Alabama's crushed them in each of the last couple years. Great day for college football.
Carolina's just going to run the ball here, and Carter, a flag comes down, Carter pushed out. But it looks like North Carolina is saying, you know what, we're tied with the #1 team in the country. Let's not make a mistake down our own end deep.
Offensive holding, number 75, 10-yard penalty, first down.
Clemson only has 1 timeout, so again, you would think the Tar Heels would just play it safe here. They scored less than 2 minutes into the game, and then Clemson came back, tied it. North Carolina forced an ETN fumble, turned that into another touchdown pass for Sam Howell. Ryan Finley, the last ACC quarterback to have multiple touchdown passes against the Tigers in the ACC. And 19 straight wins for Clemson. North Carolina has never defeated a #1 team. In fact, they're 0-26 all time against top 3 AP teams. Clemson will not use a timeout, and the Tar Heels are content to go into the locker room tied at 14. Great first half. And as Greg mentioned, Clemson will get the ball to start the second half. So Sam Howell with 2 touchdown passes, Trevor Lawrence and Travis Etienne each with a touchdown run. And Thomas with Dabo Swinney.
Coach, great momentum swing there. You get the ball coming out of the third quarter. How can you get this offense in sync and in rhythm consistently?
Well, they're playing to make us be patient. You know, they're just playing 2 safety, forcing us to run the ball, get a turnover, and so we got to make the plays that are there, take care of the ball. But hey, they're doing a heck of a job. You know, biggest thing is we got to go in there and do what we did right there. Do a good job winning inside, and then make the plays on the corners when they're there. All right, but they're doing a heck of a job. Give them credit. We got to go in here and play a little better. Turnover, touchdown off the turnover, and then they had the big play.
All right.
So just a couple of plays. And it's a good football team. We got to get in here and play a little better.
All right, thanks, Coach.
Okay.
14-14. #1 Clemson tied with North Carolina in Chapel Hill. And when we come back, Kevin Nagandi, Jonathan Vilma, Mark Sanchez will catch you up with everything on the State Farm Halftime Report after this message and a word from our ABC stations. The ACC on ESPN. Dave Pasch, Greg McElroy, Tom Luganville back in Chapel Hill, where #1 Clemson, which has won 19 consecutive games, trailed for most of the first half. But Trevor Lawrence, a rushing touchdown in the final moments of that second quarter, ties the game at 14. What surprised you, Greg, the most about what you saw in the first half?
Like just how North Carolina was able to match Clemson from a physicality standpoint. And Clemson usually so physically imposing and being able to run the football with great efficiency. And when they don't run the football, they can deal it to their excellent wide receivers on the outside. But North Carolina so far today has been not only able to match that tenacity that you see from Clemson, but in some ways, they've even surpassed the intensity that we usually see from the Clemson Tigers.
But can the Heels keep it up? Clemson will start on offense here in the third quarter. Michael Rubino kicking it deep. Ngata, the return man, takes it from his 7-yard line. Ngata across the 25, able to keep his balance, and eventually brought down, but after he crossed the 35-yard line. Take a look at our Pacific Life game summary. North Carolina scored less than 2 minutes into the game. True freshman Sam Howell with a dart to De'Ami Brown. And then a forced turnover. Etienne fumbles the ball. Strobridge recovers. That leads to another North Carolina touchdown. But then, as mentioned, Trevor Lawrence with a rushing score at the end of the half to tie the game at 14. The last Clemson loss came following the 2017 regular season to Alabama in the college football playoff semifinals. Their last loss in the regular season was against Syracuse almost 2 years ago. Great job by Lawrence to keep that play alive and dump it off to Rodgers close to the first down.
Well, guys, I got a laundry list from Mac Brown. Lots of things to cover in the halftime. #1, losing momentum the last 5 minutes of the second quarter, and then knowing Clemson was going to get the ball. So this 5 minutes of the third quarter, very critical. We saw the zone read and the little option pitch there from Trevor Lawrence. He said, guys, tackle one of them. Tackle the back or the quarterback. Tackle both of them, but at least tackle one of them right now, and they got to make a play in the kicking game if they have a chance to win.
Clemson missed a field goal in the first half. Etienne spilled by Chaz Surratt after a gain of a couple.
You look at Clemson, I think that's one area here in the second half that they really need to get going. Coming out of halftime, they ran the ball pretty well. Travis Etienne obviously had the fumble, which was huge. But they need to figure out a way to consistently try to impose their will on the line of scrimmage. They have a good, physical, veteran offensive line and a dynamic running back. So I think leaning on the run game is really going to benefit them, knowing the lack of depth that North Carolina has defensively.
Yeah, 4 seniors up front. Lawrence to throw, and it's Etienne out in space, able to make the first man miss. It's going to be 3rd down at about 4 here. So obviously the game's tied, but coming into today, Clemson had trailed for about 3.5 minutes, and that was against A&M. In the first half, they trailed for almost 23 minutes. And now the Tigers faced with a 3rd down and 4. This is huge for North Carolina if it can get a stop. And some movement by Clemson as it looked like the Tar Heels were bringing pressure.
Ball start. Offense, number 74. 5-yard penalty, 3rd down.
It's the left side of the offensive line. They called 74 John Simpson. They could have very easily called the left tackle Jackson Carman as well. You see that movement by North Carolina. Drew those Clemson Tiger offensive linemen off sides. It's a good job by North Carolina moving. Clemson's got to stay in there, though, because this 3rd and 9 is a lot tougher than that 3rd and 4 they were just faced with.
Lawrence with time and a wide open receiver. First down catch for Trey Higgins to the 39 of North Carolina. 14 yards.
Very simple concept. You're just going to see a little switch route to the right-hand side. T. Higgins just going to line up, turn around, give the quarterback his numbers. You see that switch concept. And the underneath defender loses track. That's Tamon Fox. He's a better pass rusher than he is a cover guy. It's a little lost in space, and T. Higgins converts.
So they go empty here with the quarterback Trevor Lawrence in a rhythm. He's got time again. Couple of hitches, throws deep down the seam. Incomplete, intended for the tight end J.C. Chalk. Jeremiah Gimmel running downfield defensively for North Carolina.
These are the things we saw from Trevor Lawrence occasionally over the first 4 games of the year, getting locked in on one player. And that's pretty good coverage. And when you look at Chalk, he's really a better blocker than he is route runner. And Gimmel's in good coverage and good phase. Good no call, of course, by the officials. But that's where you'd like to see Trevor Lawrence come off that initial progression and find another outlet.
They're going to run Etienne here. And he's thrown to the ground at the 30, but that's what they were doing in the second quarter. Before Etienne fumbled, they were getting 8-9 yards a pop on the ground. It'll bring up 3rd and 1.
And the longer the drive goes, the more Clemson likes to emphasize the run game. Here in the 3rd and 1 situation, 4 down territory. I might go heavy play action here. See if I can maybe create a one-on-one on the outside, and then I can run it for the first down if I so choose.
Which Lawrence has done a couple of times today. Penalty flag down.
Ball start. Offense number 79. 5-yard penalty. 3rd down.
So that's twice Jackson Carman on this drive. He is the only underclassman up front for Clemson, sophomore.
Yeah, they're going to get Carman. You can see him just twitch just a little bit. And that's just enough, and a good job by the umpire seeing that slight twitch.
It's interesting, they're pulling him too. You're taking him out. Maybe your best offensive lineman for a big 3rd down because of the mental errors.
And watch the right side. When they stack these receivers into the boundary, that's where they like to work.
Lawrence gets hit as he throws, and he overthrew his intended receiver, Ross, incomplete. Does Clemson go for it? I know it's 4th and 6. Or are you just punting it and trying to pin the Tar Heels deep? Looks like they're going to keep the offense on the field.
Trevor Lawrence took a huge hit there by Aaron Crawford as he went inside and delivered the blow.
You surprised that they're going for it?
I'm not. I have a feeling there was a huge challenge.
I mean, you got Potter. He missed, though, from 40. It would be about 52 from here. You could also punt.
It's too far. You have the best quarterback in America, arguably, under center. You got to trust him and this elite receiver core to make a play for you in critical down and distance.
Delayed blitz. Lawrence pass high. Almost caught. A second attempt by Higgins. He couldn't pull it down, and North Carolina takes over on downs.
North Carolina with the three up the middle pressure. So difficult for a quarterback. And well disguised, too. Trevor Lawrence understands that pressure's coming, gets it out quickly. And off target. Just a little high for T. Higgins as he comes out of his break.
T looked like he settled coming out of the break instead of separating a little bit. I don't know if Trevor thought he might come cross face.
North Carolina takes over on its 35-yard line. Here's Carter trying to get the edge. That's so hard to do against that speed for Clemson. Isaiah Simmons, the leading tackler for the Tigers. Moved from safety a couple years ago, made the hit. Loss of 1.
And that's the guy that Clemson's defense really needs to get going. A little beat up earlier after a huge collision with Muse in the secondary. He's got to be all over the field. He plays that hybrid position. Kind of a second-level linebacker player that's listed as a safety. So always got to keep an eye on 11. He can pressure, he can cover, and he can make things happen for you defensively in an instant.
True freshman quarterback Sam Howell to the air. And incomplete as Brown stumbled coming out of his break. As they went at A.J. Terrell again. They like that matchup out there, but it's 3rd down and 11. See the numbers for Howell. He's cooled off a little bit after that hot start, but we had a chance to talk to him for about 15 minutes yesterday. Even keel. And he's played that way today.
Yeah, he's very under control. And the biggest thing are those 0 interceptions. Just have to be smart with the football against an opportunistic and a defense that likes to give you a lot of looks and likes to heat up the quarterback.
4-man rush here. Howell's got an open receiver underneath, but they're not going to get the first down. Toe Groves dropped by Terrell at the 38, so North Carolina will have to punt it back to the Tigers.
Good job defensively there from Clemson. Dropping back. Don't get overly aggressive. Force the ball out of Sam Howell's hands underneath the sticks and rally up and make a tackle. It's a good job negating a tendency, going with a little bit more soft coverage.
Ben Kiernan booms this one. Rodgers lets it bounce. And it goes into the end zone for a touchback. 63-yard punt, but unfortunately for the Tar Heels, only a net of 43.
Fans, I know many of you have seen Lawrence of Arabia, but we got a movie that's just as good. You watched it last year, you're watching it now. Lawrence of Death Valley. Hope you're enjoying your quarterback and your Clemson Tigers today. And don't forget, tomorrow, 7:30 Eastern Time, NFL Primetime, Tom Jackson and yours truly on ESPN+. Football, the way you guys like it.
Man, it's so good to have Chris Berman and Tom Jackson back on ESPN as Lawrence rolls to the right and dumps it off here. J.C. Chalk gets the first down past the 30-yard line. All right, here's some of our favorite Chris Berman nicknames. Now, he's got some great baseball ones like O.D. Young again, McDowell, but football, Jason can't always get what you want. You got what, Tom?
Jeff, Philadelphia Feagles.
You got to love that one.
Mac.
And of course, Mike, you're in good hands with Allstott. When you can give love to a fullback / running back, you have to, right?
Don't call him a fullback.
Fullback / running back. He's a slash.
Back to the ground. ETN dropped after a pickup of about 4 or 5. Here's Cassidy in the studio.
Second and 5 on the 35.
At Virginia trying to get to 5-0. Clemson looking to do the same. Midway through this third quarter. They turned it over on downs on the last drive, and stumbling there is Powell. That was going to be a huge play. It was beautifully designed, but Powell tripped and went down at the line of scrimmage, bringing up 3rd down.
Oh, my goodness. Beautiful play action, beautiful boot. Oh my gosh, so much room. That one just eats at you, and that's one that you really don't look forward to going into the film room to watch on Sunday because your teammates will give you a little bit of a hard time.
Willie Whiteline got him.
It's got him.
And movement again on the offensive line. This by John Simpson, the left guard. Remember Jackson Carman.
Offense number 74. 5-yard penalty. Third down.
Jackson Carman, the left tackle, he's been pulled after consecutive false starts, and now it's Simpson getting called for one.
Yeah, and we've referenced just how crazy this atmosphere is. I've been here, done some North Carolina games in the past, and it's never been anywhere near this type of atmosphere. Great energy and clearly causing some fits with the Clemson offensive line.
Lawrence with a ton of time. His arm is hit. The ball flutters. It's incomplete. It's Chaz Surratt, the former quarterback turned linebacker, who hit the Clemson quarterback that play.
Internal cross pressure gets Surratt on ETN in a pass rushing situation. And you can see Surratt getting just enough of Trevor Lawrence's right arm to deflect the pass. Surratt on third down has been outstanding today.
Good punt by Spires. And the fair catch made around the 26-yard line by Daz Newsome. Brought to you by Samsung QLED TV. Here's the touchdown pass early on by true freshman quarterback Sam Howell. And then they force a fumble on Travis Etienne. Strobridge recovers. That leads to another Sam Howell touchdown pass. Clemson scored at the end of the half, but just punted it away. They've got the longest active win streak in FBS. Ohio State is number 2 at 10 in a row. The Buckeyes play at Nebraska on ABC tonight. The last regular season loss for Clemson at Syracuse going into a bye week in 2017. And Dabo Swinney warned his team this week about the fact they're going into a bye week next week, saying it's similar to 2 years ago. Let's not make the same mistake. But right now, they're in a fight with the Tar Heels. And here's Carter on first down, ran into his own guy, and eventually trampled after a gain of 2 or 3. Dabo and Mack Brown go way back. In fact, when Dabo Swinney was named interim coach and eventually the head coach at Clemson when Tommy Bowden was let go, he called several coaches to try to pick their brains and go visit. Mack Brown, Dabo said, was the only one to allow him to come visit him at Texas as Carter keeps his feet and gets the first down. They've been great friends ever since. When Mack was working for us, he would text Dabo all the time, give me some keys to the game so I can mention it ABC in the studio. So Dabo this week texted Mack, give me some keys to this game.
Of course. Got to pay it back. But it's amazing just how much Dabo and his personality reminds me of that, of Mack Brown. Very personable, engaging, interested. Just two guys that you just really would love to have the chance to play for, and it's great to see Mack back on the sideline where he's most comfortable.
Their relationship goes all the way back to Gene Stallings, who Dabo played for at Alabama, and Mack's good friends with. They go with Carter again, just sticking with the ground game and pick it up 2 or 3. So we told you we got 5 active coaches to win a national championship. Dabo with 2 of the last 3 years. Mack back in 05 with Vince Young. But they're distant from the guy at the top, Nick Saban, who's going for number 7 this year.
Yeah, it's incredible, though, to see what Dabo's been able to do over the last decade and to see the program that he's built. They are so deep, so talented, have such an established culture.
And Brown could not hang on with Kendrick in coverage third down.
Yeah, guys, I confirmed with both of them in pregame warm-up that each received a text with the keys. Now, Dabo told me that his keys were nobody in blue scores, everybody in orange runs for as many yards and throws for as many yards as they'd like, and everybody in orange scores and only scores.
And it's great when you got
Matt,
somebody.
in turn, would not reveal his keys that he gave to Dabo.
You're saying not for TV, Tom?
Apparently not.
It's great, though, in an era where you got so many coaches that suffer from extreme paranoia that these two guys just are having fun with it. 3rd and 6. Howell, all through the hands of Brown. Would have been a first down and more. Instead, it's a punt.
It was a nicely thrown football from Howell, and a nice route, too. Just a little slight delayed stutter slant. A lot of separation, plenty of room.
You know what, Greg, though? When you're the underdog, you cannot drop that ball.
Yeah, you can't. You have to think, was De'Ami Brown thinking that there was a white jersey coming straight for him? Maybe going across the middle, got a little bit carried away and preoccupied with making the catch.
Or is he thinking, if I catch this, I might score? Again, the punt goes over the head of the return guy, but it checks up this time and is down to around the 10-yard line. We're still even at the 5-minute mark of the 3rd.
The reason why they're tied at 14 is the pressure that North Carolina's been able to get on Trevor Lawrence. Open receiver and Ross on the post, but the pressure forces the ball to sail high, and then Chet Surratt working against Travis Etienne on the cross dog pressure, hitting Trevor Lawrence's arm as he released the football. This pressure from North Carolina has been outstanding on 3rd down.
Lynn J. Dixon gets the carry here and a pickup of about 3 or 4.
Well, guys, momentum is such a big thing in this game, and just watching Clemson's sideline, and Dabo Swinney in particular, on that last drive for North Carolina, they forced the punt, so you're all jacked up, right? You're going to get the ball back, probably pretty good field position. Then he jacks the punt inside the 10-yard line, and just watching Dabo Swinney's body language, because now he knows from a field position standpoint, it takes away some of that momentum, and now the crowd gets jacked up behind you.
Well, think about it too, Tom. You've had 5 false starts in large part because of the crowd today by Clemson offensive linemen.
No doubt.
Now you got 2nd and 5 after that 5-yard run, and Lawrence to throw here, and it's knocked down, incomplete. Alan Cater got a paw up.
I love the play here by Cater, recognizing it's quick game. I can't get home. I can't sack the quarterback. So what do I need to do? I need to just jump and get my hands up, deflect the pass. That's good recognition of the quarterback's footwork and how quickly the ball was coming out of his hand.
Lawrence with a ton of time. Incomplete. Oh, Gimmel may have tipped it. He was underneath the intended receiver. And so it's 4th down, and Clemson will have to punt it back to North Carolina.
Look at this trap from Gimmel. He's lined up right here. He flies out underneath this corner route because of the pressure that comes off the slot. That's a great job of recognizing the route concept, understanding who you're replacing, and getting a hand on the pass for a huge pass breakup.
3rd 3 and out today by Clemson, and now Will Spires to punt from his 1-yard line. Daz Newsome, who's very dangerous, is the deep man. Not a good kick. Newsome going to let it go, but man, it takes a huge Clemson bounce all the way down to the 31. It ends up being a 55-yard punt. Don't forget tonight on ABC, Nebraska welcomes the 5th-ranked team in the country, Ohio State, for a 7:30 Eastern, 6:30 local time kickoff on ABC. Ohio State has won 4 in a row against Nebraska, outscoring them 217-86. Now, Nebraska's a little bit better than they've been the last couple years, but Ohio State might be as well.
No doubt. I'm just so impressed with what Ohio State has done. And how about Sam Howell trying to get back on track? Started so hot in this game. He's cooled off a little bit against some of these looks that Clemson's giving him defensively.
They've run the ball well on 1st down, and they do it here. Javonte Williams with a stiff arm, and all the way to the 43 for a 1st down. He got Kayvon Wallace right in the grill as he picked up 12.
And a good job, too, at the point of attack by the left tackle, Charlie Heck. How about the stiff arm? Boom, get off me.
Twice.
And then, right, the second time he drove his head into the ground.
That was impressive, man. I'm telling you, I've been so impressed with these North Carolina running backs.
And Howell going to take off here. They tried to make the defender miss and paid for it. Got hit hard that time after a gain of about 2 to be second down and long.
Get down, young fella.
Yeah, they don't have any help behind. You got a true freshman behind him at quarterback. That was Nolan Turner on the hit.
Got a walk-on freshman going in if anything happens to old number 7.
Yeah, and if that hit that he took wasn't worth the extra yard he picked up. So sometimes you got to understand that these guys will really pop you if you try to hit them.
Howell in trouble, and down he goes. Sacked by Isaiah Simmons at the 35-yard line. Loss of 11 on the play.
You see the safety on the right side start to come down, which means Isaiah Simmons is freed up to pressure, and him working against a running back is advantage Clemson all day long. I mean, Javonte Williams is a big body back.
Ouch.
It looked like Simmons got Williams back for the stiff arm he gave to his teammate Wallace a little while ago.
I think so. It's a great rush by the outstanding junior from Clemson.
Now it's 3rd and 17 for UNC. Clemson backs off here and rushes 3. Howell in trouble in the pocket. Slammed to the ground. Back-to-back sacks for the Tigers. This time it's true freshman Tyler Davis. And the Tigers at the punt. Or the Heels, rather, have the kick.
And you just see drop out. As a result, Sam Howell thinks he has a lot of time. Unfortunately for him, Logan Rudolph and that Tiger front kind of adjust everything. He can't really get comfortable, and the pocket collapses around him. Good job, too, by Tyler Davis applying the pressure.
Clemson almost got it that time. Line drive to Rogers on the 30. He did signal for a fair catch. And the Tigers will have the ball there after only a 37-yard boot. $14-14 game as we continue Dr. Pepper's championship drive game of the week. Clemson 19 consecutive wins, the first reigning national champ ever to play at Kenan Stadium, but they are tied with the Tar Heels. Their offense sputtering here today. They've scored a third-quarter touchdown in all of their previous 4 games. Only a minute to go here in the third quarter today as a high pass. Too hot to handle for Justin Ross. A lot of high throws from Lawrence here in the quarter. I mean, the first 4 games, Clemson had its most yards per game in any season. And now, yeah, they played Charlotte and they played Georgia Tech out the gate, and Syracuse struggling, but North Carolina deserves a lot of credit for what's going on here today.
Yeah, they've done a really nice job tackling in space and pushing up front into Trevor Lawrence's lap.
Lawrence tried to set up the screen here to Etienne, and a great job by Cater to get him and take him down for a loss. North Carolina's playing with so many backups. Cater's another one. They've lost a ton of starters to injury, but it just doesn't seem to matter. They still play hard and well.
It's an excellent job by Cater, recognizing this screen, getting disengaged, leveraging the football, making a play in the backfield.
They rush 3 on 3rd and 11, so Lawrence has time. No, he doesn't. Got rid of the pass at the last second, so no sack. It was Chaz Surratt again. Tamon Fox back there too. 4th down.
You see Surratt in this group, he's just right in the A-gap. I mean, I don't understand why they would allow him, given the pressure that he's already applied today. Why are they still blocking him with Travis Etienne? They need to reassess and say the best matchup is not 9 versus 21 in blue. They need to put the offensive line in account for Surratt because he's been awesome on 3rd down.
Playing linebacker for the first time since he was a freshman in high school. He was a quarterback until the spring. And he's making plays on defense. Fair catch made at the 29 after a 41-yard punt. Let's take a look at this week's AP rankings brought to you by Capital One. North Carolina has never beaten an AP number 1, never beaten anybody in the top 3, 0-26. As you look at some of these other games, anything surprise you based on the scores?
No, I just think that Notre Dame team is really solid. Last week's performance was really remarkable, but you have to wonder, did it take a little bit out of them? Going on the road, physical environment, emotional game, clearly playing against a good Virginia team. But will they have enough to hang on in South Bend?
Do the Tar Heels have enough to hang with the Tigers? Still tied. They run Carter here, and he somehow got out of the arms of Justin Maskell and got back to the line of scrimmage. And that is the final play of the third quarter. Neither team put up a point in that frame. And we go to the fourth in Chapel Hill, the #1 team in the country, tied with unranked North Carolina. Back after this message and a word from our ABC stations. To the fourth quarter we go. The last unranked team to beat an AP #1 was Oregon State 11 years ago. Since then, the #1 team has knocked off 89 straight unranked foes. That's the longest streak in the polls history. Neither team scored in the third, so we're all even at 14 as we start the fourth. Dave Pasch, Greg McElroy, Tom Luginbill. 2nd and 9 for North Carolina from its 30-yard line. The Tar Heels have less than 200 yards of total offense, yet they're hanging with #1 as Michael Carter puts them in third and manageable with a 6 or 7 yard run.
And they haven't really been able to sustain much offensively. Haven't been great on third down either. The defense has kept them in it. Those guys on defense at some point, they're going to feel some fatigue because North Carolina is relatively thin. So it's absolutely pivotal that North Carolina execute and pick up this 3rd and 4 to try to extend this drive a little bit, keep their defense on the sideline.
They've yet to convert on third down in the second half. And pressure up the middle, but a catch is made for a first down. Newsome on the grab. You saw how cool Howell was in the pocket despite pressure.
It was a great job recognizing where the pressure came from, seeing man coverage with outside leverage, and exploiting that vacated area.
And then here goes Michael Carter, breaking a tackle and then lowering the boom on Terrell, close to a first down in Tiger territory. Gain of 9 on the play.
Greg, Clemson's having a hard time with this tempo getting lined up. We know that they want to make a lot of checks from the sideline. Brent Venables, he doesn't have the time to do it, so you've got some Clemson players looking to the sideline. While look at North Carolina here, they're getting lined up ready to go while Clemson's getting into set.
Now a major shift by North Carolina as they spread it out. Howell to throw, and it's batted down to the line of scrimmage. So it'll be 3rd down and 1. Skalski was there for Clemson.
3rd and 1, North Carolina with their big back in the game, Javonte Williams. I think they're going to keep it on the ground.
Yeah, they snap it quick. It's Howell keeping it, and he's not going to get it. You saw Simmons grab him and try to punch it out. Spector in there as well. Do you take a chance in a tie game against the #1 team to go for it, or do you just punt it and pin him?
I think you got to be aggressive. #1 team in the country, you have to be aggressive. It doesn't matter. They started the drive on the 6-yard line. Trevor Lawrence went the length of the field. So I like staying aggressive in this scenario, keeping your offense on the field.
They got to get the right personnel. They may have to burn a timeout if they don't. See guys running in and out of the huddle. Two tight ends.
It's been run to the left in this formation.
Williams. Boy, I don't know. Simmons hit him first. Where the officials are spotting it, it's on the other side of the 45. But no, based on where they put the ball down, he's short, and it will be Clemson football.
Look at the line of scrimmage being reestablished there by the Clemson defensive front. So much push and surge based on the spot. Spot looks good, but I think it's going to be short.
It's Clemson ball. Huge stand by the Tiger defense. So Brent Venable's guys come up big. And Clemson will take over near midfield as Carolina went for it on 4th and 1 at the 45 of Clemson and failed. I get what you're saying, though, Greg, about being aggressive. But Clemson gets its best starting field position of the day. Lawrence steps up, in trouble, gets out of there and gets rid of it. He was outside the pocket. 3rd down and 3.
No, Greg, this North Carolina defense really making Clemson earn every inch. And Dabo Swinney, when he went into the locker room, I thought it was really telling. He said, they're making us be patient. Clemson's not used to being patient. Clemson's used to it being easy. Credit North Carolina for another 3rd down opportunity.
And it's been the pass rush, Lugs, that has been the difference here in the second half. Constantly applying pressure and making Trevor Lawrence uncomfortable.
Empty set for Lawrence on 3rd down and short. Little half roll and a pitch and catch to J.C. Chalk for a 1st down.
I love the play call. The pass rush has been hurting you a little bit. Move the pocket just a touch to the quarterback's throwing arm. Just a little sprint right option. Same play, or a very similar play to what they hit Renfro on to win the national championship a couple years ago. Just right in the flat. Pitch and catch, 3rd down conversion.
Another design quarterback run. They've done this a lot today, and they're having success. But wow, what a shot that Lawrence took that time. You had Cameron Kelly and Aaron Crawford closing in, and Kelly is shaken up. He delivered the blow, but had to walk off. And then also Crawford is hurt. He's still down. Mentioned it was a year ago that Trevor Lawrence made his first start. He was also knocked out of that game against Syracuse. He looks to be okay, but the Tar Heel players are not. Back in a moment.
Football on ABC is brought to you by Pacific Life. 150 years strong. Protection and retirement solutions for your future. Lexus. Experience amazing. And Chex Mix. Score the winning mix.
Today's Players Spotlight brought to you by Wrangler, the North Carolina defense against the Clemson offense that averages 42 points per game. They've only given up 14. And also keep in mind, Clemson's won 19 in a row, 14 in a row by 14 or more points. That's the 3rd longest in NCAA history. Some movement by the Tigers here. They've had now 6 false start penalties.
False start. Offense. Number 25. 5-yard penalty.
But you think about the streak Clemson's on. The last time anybody won 14 straight games by 14 or more was Georgia back in the mid-40s. So you're talking something that hasn't been done in over 70 years. Yet this North Carolina defense that is playing a lot of true freshmen and a lot of backups because of injury, but able to keep them in this game against maybe the best quarterback in the country in Trevor Lawrence. His offensive line isn't helping him, though, with all these false starts, putting him in 2nd and 8. And now Lawrence in trouble, but able to step away from pressure. He got positive yardage, dragged down by Tamari Fox, but it will be 3rd down. Well, what would it take for an upset? You're seeing it.
You're seeing it. Can't give up big plays, make him snap the football, and rally to the football. And North Carolina here in another situation on 3rd down and medium. You mentioned that pass rush so many times. 21, Chaz Surratt has been the guy they've really keyed on to make plays for them on critical down and distance. See if 21 can get free again to make a play.
Lawrence from the pocket, a deep ball to Higgins. He got it! Touchdown! Clemson has the lead!
Higgins for the Clemson touchdown.
The Lawrence family looking on. First time Clemson has had the lead today. Comes after North Carolina turns it over on downs at the Clemson 45. (21-14) Clemson on top.
Just mentioned how North Carolina hadn't given up any big plays. We spoke a little too soon. T. Higgins in the slot, working against a linebacker on a vertical. Beautiful throw by Trevor Lawrence and a nice adjustment by the excellent junior wide receiver. And Clemson has the lead here in Chapel Hill.
Longest play from scrimmage today for Clemson, a 38-yard touchdown pass by Trevor Lawrence to T. Higgins, the 8th touchdown pass of the season for Lawrence, 3rd receiving touchdown for Higgins, and for the first time today, number 1 leads in Chapel Hill. Carter elects to return this, and he gets to about the 24. All right, today's Crunch Time brought to you by Cheez-It looks at 2 losses by North Carolina. Out of bounds, there should have been a second left. Don't know if it would have mattered. They lost to Wake Forest by 6. And then last week, they lose to Appalachian State. App State able to block a field goal, 56 yards, that would have tied it. And North Carolina did win its first 2 games of the season against South Carolina and Miami. And they trailed in the 4th quarter of every one. So this is familiar territory for true freshman quarterback Sam Howell, who's been brilliant in the final quarters of games this year. But the offense has stalled since the first half of the Tar Heels. Javonte Williams can't get to the perimeter, spun down by Justin Foster for no gain. And look at those numbers in the 4th.
He's been excellent. I mean, very efficient in the 4th, making timely throws and gotta-have-it situations, capping incredible comebacks, most notably against South Carolina, engineering a couple 95-plus yard drives to steal a victory from the Gamecocks. He has been so calm under pressure, but here he's facing a test that is unlike that of any other in college football. The number 1 team in America and one of the best defenses he'll see in his entire career.
They were getting a lot of yardage running the ball on first down. Not that time, so they go to the air on second down. Howell gets out of a sack the first time. Now he runs into his own guy. And he gets squashed around the 30-yard line. Picked up 4. Xavier Thomas on the hit. Again, there really is no backup because of all the injuries. You've got a true freshman walk-on that's the backup quarterback if anything happens to Howell.
They got to keep this drive going. A critical 3rd down here because they have got to give their defense a break. Get them rested. So thin. We talk about that depth, the reserves, the injuries. Critical 3rd down conversion here for this North Carolina offense.
As you saw a second ago, Jace Ruder, the backup quarterback, injured last week against App State. Here in this scenario, you got to think, you got to look in the direction of De'Ami Brown. He's your best wide receiver. He's been your playmaker this year.
Howell surveying, and he's got a man, and it is Brown, a first down. It takes almost the entire Clemson defense to stop him after a 13-yard gain as Howell picks up 3rd down.
Great job of scanning the field by Sam Howell. Eyes to the right, doesn't like anything initially, all the way back to the left, where De'Ami Brown is breaking free, working against Darian Kendrick. A nice, accurate throw, right in stride, to allow the forward momentum and the yards after catch to continue. Big conversion for the Tar Heels.
North Carolina 0-26 all-time against AP top 3 teams. The first time a number 1 team has visited here since Florida State in '99. First time ever a consensus reigning national champ has come to Kenan Stadium. Throw off the mark that time. Boy, that looked weird coming out of the hand of Sam Howell, trying to hit Daz Newsome. 0-10 for UNC against AP number 1 teams. There is an injured Tiger here. Jordan Williams will step aside for a moment. The ACC Network is your home for more ACC sports. Get ACCN.com to check for providers in your area. If you don't see yours listed, contact them to demand they carry ACC Network. Now, Clemson was down for most of the first half, tied it to send it to intermission, and then they just went ahead for the first time. North Carolina faced with a 2nd and 10, and they're going to run the ball, and Carter gets smacked in the backfield. Nolan Turner back up, free safety. 3rd and long.
Yeah, just a good job of recognition. Pressure off the left side that are going to run right in to Michael Carter. Not a lot the running back can do there. Great job and a great call by Brent Venables, the defensive coordinator.
Now you're 3rd down and 12 with that clock running. They went for it on 4th down and 1 at the 45 of Clemson in a tie game. Didn't get it. And the Tigers marched down the field and scored. Howell looking. Receiver comes open. A sliding catch made, but short of the 1st down. So do you go for it again? You went for it earlier in a similar down and distance, similar place on the field.
Yeah, I don't see why not. If you went for it on the last time, you got to think that he's going to do it again. However, last time on 4th and 1, they went with that inside zone, right into the teeth of the Clemson defense. You have to think if you're going to get it, you're going to pick it up. It's got to be on the perimeter.
Play clock winding down. They got to hurry. And they will use a timeout. 2 remaining. 4th and 1 when we come back to Chapel Hill. To 14 at the 5:48 mark of the 4th quarter. Nobody scored in the 3rd. Trevor Lawrence's first touchdown pass came in the 4th. He also had a rushing touchdown in the 2nd quarter. Sam Howell, true freshman quarterback, has 2 touchdown passes for Carolina, which is going for it on 4th and 1.
Remember last time on 4th and 1, nothing doing inside. Let's see if they go with a little quick play fake. Maybe get something on the edge.
Howell keeps it. And he got the 1st down. Brought down by Foster. Enough, though, to move the chains.
And Howell just followed his running back right through the hole. You actually see Carter turn around and say, "What happened? Where's the ball?" Sure enough, if he picks up a block, who knows what happens. But Mac Brown breathes a sigh of relief after the very aggressive play call to go for it on 4th and 2 from midfield.
Dang, Greg. Carter could have helped him out with a little lead block, though.
You should be looking for somebody to hit, not looking to see if your quarterback got it. Howell off play action. Zips it in there, but it was behind Newsome, incomplete. Here's Cassidy.
That's intended from the 5 pass, Newsome.
All right, and here, Cassidy, it is 21-14 Clemson. We told you how good the Tar Heels had been in the 4th quarter. They trailed in the 4th quarter of all their games, yet they have 2 wins. They're at 2nd and 10. Clemson bringing some pressure here. Carter able to break a tackle at the line of scrimmage. Finally dragged down from behind, close to the line to gain. It'll be 3rd and short. Xavier Thomas tracked him down. You're in 4-down territory here inside 5 minutes to go. Heels trying to hurry it up, or Clemson can get lined up.
Watch your zone read in the left side.
Carter slammed to the ground. Thomas and Foster read it well. You lose yardage, so now it's 4th and about 4.
You have to go for it. Non-negotiable.
And you got to find number 2, don't you, Greg?
Absolutely.
Yep.
Number 2, De'Ami Brown has been your playmaker. He's your most reliable. He's your best wide receiver. In a situation like this where you would expect that Clemson is going to bring pressure defensively, it's likely going to leave De'Ami Brown on an island.
Against a corner who is a former receiver.
So here's De'Ami Brown. Let's see if they look in his direction.
Instead, over the middle, over the official. The umpire was right in the way, but Groves made the catch with Turner all over him. They convert on 4th and 4.
He's looking in the direction of Brown, but he quickly scans back over the middle of the field, resets his feet, and a great job by Groves going down and catching the low throw on the slant. Sam Howell, so impressive in crunch time and gotta have it scenarios. In spots that you would expect a freshman to crumble, he has been up to the task throughout the course of his career. He's been up to the task tonight.
Michael
Wooten, number 1 ranked team in the country.
Michael Wooten made that play, the umpire. I mean, he almost got drilled, and that would have been incomplete Clemson ball. They go back to the ground. Javonte Williams brought down after minimal gain. Clock is nearing 3 minutes to go. 2 timeouts remaining for North Carolina. Clemson riding a 19-game win streak, the longest in FBS. Their last defeat was against Alabama in the college football playoff after the 2017 season. Their last regular season loss at Syracuse, October of 2017. Carolina hoping to be in a position to hand the Tigers a loss. 7-point Tiger lead. Breaking a tackle is Williams, and then upended at the 25. Again, 4-down territory, 3rd and 2.
Remember, in this situation, around 2.5 minutes left, not only obviously scoring #1 priority without question, but also be mindful of the clock.
A quick snap it, and breaking free is Javonte Williams. Another missed tackle. They finally get him inside the 5, but it's 1st and goal for UNC.
The quick snap trying to catch Clemson's defense out of alignment, and sure enough they are. Williams breaks free, breaks a tackle, and gets into open space. It's a great job emphasizing tempo. We've seen North Carolina all day use that muddle huddle, huddling and calling the play from the huddle. But there, they use tempo. They try to get a quick snap, and it pays off for them.
Mac Brown telling Phil Longo here on the sideline, it's okay to take your time. Slow it down. I don't want any time on the clock left.
They're going to use their 2nd timeout, leaving them with 1. 1:46 to go. Carolina on the doorstep.
Guys, it's back! Inline skating? No, the Zensation is back at Zaxby's.
You heard right. The Zensation salad is back. And introducing the new Zensation filet sandwich meal. Both served with an egg roll. For a limited time, only at Zaxby's.
You got to go back to October 13th of 2017 when Kelly Bryant got injured. Trevor Lawrence was a senior in high school in Cartersville, Virginia, the last time Clemson lost in the regular season. North Carolina has a 1st and goal on the Clemson 3-yard line. They've got 3 tight ends in the game. Play action pass. Howell setting up, throws, and it is caught but not in. They're marking it at the 1-yard line. Vargas did a great job to haul that in. It was not a good throw at all.
Man, he was late getting to it also. It's a great effort.
Wait, isn't that a touchdown?
Man, it's close. Really close.
The ruling on the field of the receiver short of the goal line is under further review.
Now, when does he get possession? I mean, the ball there, is it secure? Does he have possession there? Or is it when he turns over that he actually secures it? And if so, where's the ball? It just has to cross the very front end of that goal line. Ruling in the field is he's short.
An incredible catch.
First catch of the year for Vargas.
What a grab.
Unbelievable catch.
Wow. Too bad Sam made it so hard on him.
Yeah.
He pinned it against his helmet.
He did.
With one hand.
It's just hard to see where the nose of the football is, too, when he secures it. Of course, it has to be indisputable video evidence beyond all doubt to overturn and call it a touchdown, but my goodness, it's close. The interesting thing, too, is North Carolina, knowing the clock will be wound, might be in their best interest for this not to be a touchdown, knowing that you could take a little more time off the clock to avoid giving Trevor Lawrence a 2-minute opportunity.
That's if you assume you're guaranteed to get in against this Clemson front.
No guarantees against this group.
Well, and that's what Mac was talking to Phil Longo, the offensive coordinator, about.
After review, the ruling on the field stands.
Okay. which means not enough video evidence, as Greg mentioned, has to be indisputable beyond all doubt. So it's not overturned. It's 2nd and goal from inside the 1. They will start the clock on the ready for play. Clemson has all of its timeouts left. We'll see if they decide to use one here to try to preserve some time in case Carolina scores, to have enough clock at the end of regulation. Clemson's trying to run an extra guy on the field there, and Dabo calls a timeout. I don't know if they had 10 guys or 11, but you saw their number 31, Mario Goodrich, running down the sideline, went into the end zone, and then came out of the field.
That was chaotic.
Very uncharacteristic.
Let's count how many guys are on the field here, too, before he comes out there.
And so they make the substitution, but what they don't account for is the fact that there's a guy standing to the top. Let's count them up if we can.
I think there's 10, right?
5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. As you can tell, just very clear as number 11 is moving off the field. There's no one to account for the wide receiver to the left side. There's no one.
Boy, Howell has to snap it there, man, right? I mean, I know he's a true freshman quarterback, but you snap it at 6.
It's a laugher. It's a piece of cake. You have to be more aware, but still. Uncharacteristic mistake there from Clemson, not having their substitution, and they're burning a timeout.
2nd and goal. Williams puts his head down. No signal yet. Now they do. It's a touchdown. Touchdown, Carolina, within a point. And the Tar Heels are going to go for 2 in the lead with 1:14 to go.
Guy standing right next to Matt. Before the signal was called, he had his fingers in the air with 2.
Do you agree with this decision, guys? You've played them so well. Do you agree to make it basically come down to 1 play?
Let's first see if Javonte Williams does in fact score. There you see the ball clearly in. It's just a matter of whether he was down. And there you see his knee. It looks as though it's off the ground. You can see it right there. This call is going to be confirmed. But I absolutely agree with the call. Okay. The longer this game goes, the more likely that Clemson's talent advantage and depth is going to come to the forefront and take over.
And Greg, you know what? You're not the better team, but you've played better football. So end it right here.
Obviously, with 1:14 to go, even if they were to get a 2-point conversion, Clemson has 2 timeouts, and they've got one of the best players in the country in Trevor Lawrence, and some great weapons around him, so it's not over. But you certainly get it with Mack Brown knowing, look, we're in a rebuilding situation here. We're probably lucky to even be in this spot. Let's go for it right here. A 2-point attempt to take the lead. Play clock is yet to start. No timeouts remaining for the Tar Heels. They had a 2-point conversion against Wake Forest. Can they get it here? Howell sprinting out, gets hit, and doesn't get in. The ball is fumbled anyway, recovered by Clemson, but the Tigers remain in front with 1:17 to go. Carolina's out of timeouts for all intents and purposes. This baby's over. Clemson will survive. Of course, you got what's likely going to be an onside kick, but still no timeouts left, even if North Carolina recovers it.
Trying to just go with triple option. That end actually on the right side of the field stayed wide. Of course, you can't see what happens play side, but Howell opts to pull it. And Clemson's defense has plenty of numbers.
And actually, it looked like there on the recovery, Newsom was still in bounds, but Clemson was all over it anyway, was not going to get in.
Just a great job by Clemson's defense, leveraging the football, playing their keys. Also got to give Sam Howell a little credit. No, hey, it's leave it all in the field. Might as well try to pitch it to somebody. Maybe something magical happens, but
So Carolina will go for the onside kick here.
And who can forget the ACC championship game a few years back? He had an 11-1 Carolina team that was an onside kick away from potentially pulling off one of the stunners that we'd ever seen in college football to that point just a few years back. So let's see if Clemson can make it a little less dramatic this time.
Noah Ruggles to kick off. High in the air. It is loose. And Clemson's got it. Recovered by Justin Ross. And so the Tigers take over. The Tar Heels can't stop the clock. The win streak will go to 20 straight for Clemson.
It was a great kick. Bounce, bounce. Second bounce is the one you're trying to create. It's in a perfect spot.
North Carolina overran it, Greg.
They really did. They had an opportunity for sure to secure it. But Clemson hangs on. What a gutsy performance from the Clemson Tigers.
Lawrence takes a knee. He'll have to do it one more time. Well, the relationship between Dabo Swinney and Mack Brown goes way back to when Dabo was named the head coach after an interim stint following the dismissal of Tommy Bowden. And he called Mack Brown. He called a lot of coaches for help. He'd never been a head coach before. He's a receivers coach. Mack Brown, Dabo says, was the only guy to take him in, brought him to Texas, taught him everything he knew about being a head coach and running a major program. They've stayed great friends. And they'll be talking about this one for a long time. Clemson wins it. That's 20 straight victories for the Tigers. They edge the Heels after a failed two-point conversion attempt by North Carolina.
Good job, man. Hey, I'll play this out, coach. Really great job. That's going to be great conference, these guys. That's going to be a wonderful day. That's a job. Nah, man. I appreciate you, brother. Thank you.
Trevor Lawrence was outstanding, both throwing and running, and the true freshman Sam Howell, a very impressive showing, as we said at the top.
Well, Coach, it was a dogfight. You told me at halftime this is a good football team you're playing. How do you assess the second half performance of your football team?
Well, we did enough to win, but listen, I thought they outplayed us. I thought they outcoached us. Simple as that. We're really fortunate to win the game. But at the end of the day, you need one more point to win, and we came away with the victory. So I'm proud of our guys. This was a great crowd. I thought their team was awesome. They showed a lot of heart, and they took advantage of some mistakes. Well, I mean, we couldn't get out of our own way for a lot of the night. A bunch of offsides, a bunch of 3rd and 1s that we screwed up, and just some missed opportunities. But we made the plays when we need to make them, and that's what great teams do. But this was a game that we're very fortunate to win. But hey, you're going to have games like this. It's not easy to win. It's not easy to win, and we're not entitled to win. You know, you got to earn it, and we did. We found a way. But man, you got to give North Carolina a ton of credit. I mean, what a gutsy performance by their team. Again, I thought they outplayed us, outcoached us. But, you know, sometimes the team that plays the best doesn't win. And tonight, we were fortunate.
I know how important your relationship is with Mack Brown. What did you say during your exchange with him there?
Oh, man, just gutsy performance. I told him the same thing. I thought they outplayed us. You know, it's a shame that somebody's got to lose a game like that, but I'm proud of my guys. What a great – I knew they were going to go for 2. We already told them, listen, they're going for 2. And we talked about the option. So, tremendous job by our defense. Just playing the next play. At the end of the game, it came down to one play. And we made the play that won the game. And you know what? It's a young team. We've got 80 freshmen and sophomores. You know, I know that our program has won a lot of games, but this team hasn't. This team still got a lot of maturing to do. A lot of mistakes tonight. Big turnover, again, costly mistakes on 3rd down and 1 that cost us points, missed field goal, and all those things add up, especially when you're on the road against a team that's playing with everything that they got. So listen, again, we're very fortunate. We're thankful to have the opportunity to move on. We got to get better. We got an open date coming up, and got Florida State here in 2 weeks. Hopefully we'll come back and improve from this game. But I'm really proud of our team, first of all, and our fans. We had a good crowd here as well. But great college football game. Blessed to win it.
All right, Coach, go enjoy it. All right.
Thank you.
Man, it was a great college game. How much fun was that to watch? Dabo Swinney and #1 Clemson survives beating North Carolina by a point here in Chapel Hill. Don't forget Ohio State and Nebraska still to come on ABC. For Greg McElroy, Tom Luganbill, our entire ABC crew, I'm Dave Pash. 20 straight wins for the reigning national champs, beating North Carolina 21-20. Here, Kevin Nagandi in the studio.